In this video, we are going to learn how to solve one-step equations. A one-step equation is an equation that can be solved in just one step. To solve a one-step equation, we are going to use the fact that an equation stays in balance if the same operation is performed on both sides. That is, if we add the same number to both sides of an equation, it will stay in balance. If we subtract the same number from both sides of an equation, then it will stay in balance. If we multiply both sides of an equation by the same number, then it will stay in balance. And if we divide both sides of an equation by the same number, it will stay in balance. To understand the process, let us consider an example. Let us solve the one-step equation, x minus 5 is equal to 4. Now, what we want to do is determine the value of x. Now, to do this, we want to isolate x on the left-hand side of the equation, and so we just need to remove this negative 5 from the left-hand side of the equation. Now, how can we eliminate this negative 5? We can do that by adding 5 to both sides of the equation. And we can do that because an equation will stay in balance if we add the same number to both of its sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to add 5 to both sides of the equation. So we have x minus 5 plus 5 is equal to 4 plus 5. Now we have a negative 5 and a plus 5. These two get canceled out. And so we are left with just x on the left-hand side. And on the right-hand side, we have 4 plus 5, and that is 9. And so we have solved the equation. So we can see that the value of x is equal to 9. And we have solved this equation in just one step. Now let us have a look at a few practice problems to understand how to solve various types of one-step equations. Now in the first equation, we have x minus 7 is equal to 3. So along with the x, we have a negative 7. How do we eliminate that? We can eliminate it by adding 7 to both sides of the equation. So we end up with x minus 7 plus 7 is equal to 3 plus 7. So on the left-hand side, the negative 7 and the plus 7 will get canceled out. And so we are left with x is equal to 3 plus 7, and that is equal to 10. And so this is our required answer. That is, we solve the equation to obtain that x is 10, and we can see that we have solved this in just one step. Now let us have a look at the next problem. So we have y plus 8 is equal to 10. So on the left-hand side, along with the variable y, we have a plus 8. And how do we eliminate that plus 8? We can do that by subtracting 8 from both sides of the equation. So let's do that. So we end up with y plus 8 minus 8. This is equal to 10 minus 8. So on the left-hand side, we can cancel out this plus 8 and negative 8. And what are we left with? We are left with y is equal to 10 minus 8, which is equal to 2. And so we have solved the one-step equation to obtain that y is equal to 2. Let's consider the next problem. We have m divided by 2 is equal to 6. So along with the variable m, what do we have? We have that the variable is divided by 2. And to eliminate that, what we need to do is multiply both sides of the equation by 2. So if we do that, what do we end up with? We have m divided by 2 times 2. This is equal to 6 times 2. So we have a divided by 2 and a times 2, so we can cancel those two out. And on the left-hand side, we are just left with m. And on the right-hand side, we have 6 times 2, which is 12. And so we have solved the one-step equation to obtain that m is equal to 12. Consider the next problem. Here we have 4n is equal to 20. So on the left-hand side, along with the variable n, we have 4 multiplied with it. And so how do we eliminate it? We can eliminate it by dividing both sides of this equation by 4. So what do we end up with? We end up with 4n divided by 4 is equal to 20 divided by 4. So 4n divided by 4, we can cancel out these two 4's, and on the left-hand side, all we are left with is n. And on the right-hand side, we have 20 divided by 4, which is equal to 5. And so we have solved the one-step equation to obtain that n is equal to 5. Consider the next problem. Here we have 6 over 7 times t is equal to 36. So along with the variable t, we have a fraction multiplied with it. And how do we eliminate that fraction? all we need to do is multiply both sides of the equation by the reciprocal of that fraction. So what is the reciprocal of 6 over 7? That will be 7 over 6. So we end up with 7 over 6 times 6 over 7t is equal to 7 over 6 times 36. So we can cancel out these two 7s. We can cancel out these two 6s. And so on the left-hand side, we are left with t. And on the right-hand side, we have 7 over 6 times 36. So we divide 6 by 6 to obtain 1, and we divide 36 by 6 to obtain 6, and we have 7 times 6, which is equal to 42. And so we have solved the one-step equation to obtain that t is equal to 42. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. See you next time.